So we are now in the property and I'm looking back across the road to where I was filming the previous video. There's the fish and chip shop on the right. This is the gate, it's the entrance to our property. We've got cobblestones here which are lethal, they'll need taken out and rebedding because it's just a good chance for me to have an accident. And now we are going to look inside. There you go. More cobbles and random paving stones. The wall on the left hand side is the side of that house next to us, and down here you can see our house just there. It's actually built onto the back of the right hand terrace, so if we look back here, this wall here is part of that terrace, this little window is part of it, but from here all the way down is our house, so it's long and thin. Let's go down a little further. On the left, this is the back door of our neighbour, who we actually bought this property from. He owned both properties. And we haven't got a boundary up yet. We need to get that sorted out, but roughly speaking halfway we'll be putting up a fence of some sort, obviously. Things on the left are things that he owns, sort of random, sort of mixture of useful things and probably rubble and whatever else. So this is us all the way up here. It's 3 floors. What you're looking at here is the back side of steps into our house. You have to go up steps to get into it. These have been built temporarily, and that is our, at the moment, front door. So we're going to go all the way around here, and there you go. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by the house, so it's time to look at the garden. So what we're doing is we're just looking straight down here. The border between the neighbours and ourselves, that's where we came in. This is all his, basically, all on that side. And you start to look down, follow it along, and at the far end on the right, it's a dog kennel, wire dog run. That is his. So basically, roughly speaking, the border will come down, the boundary will come down to the right of the dog cage, and all this on the right will be ours. And this is Simon, who is also mine. That's the temporary, say hello Simon.
Hello.
Thank you. That is our temporary patio at the moment, so at least we do have somewhere we can sit. Let's go on down a little bit further. Now this is all junk. We've already filled a skip of junk. There are a lot of things we couldn't get in it, which I shall show you. Just for the minute, look at the back of the house, all the way up. We've got no windows or doors at the bottom yet, but we are likely to have bifold doors, so we'll get lots of light in. There we've got the like patio doors on the top floor and the second floor, so that's going to be a Juliet balcony on each, obviously. So that'll be lovely to be able to let the light and the sun in there on those floors. So we're looking along here. A lot of junk. We just need, it'll go when we get another skip. We've had one skip already. Some of it Simon says he may be able to use, like those big window panes and things, because he's wanting to have a greenhouse, and those sort of things may come in useful for cloches or such. This is all just junk that we couldn't fit into the skip last time. Paid containers, you can't put them in skips either, so we'll have to sort that out. There is a garage on site, which is nice. The garden storage box on the left is ours. So we have this garage. We'll need to put new doors on it. It was a bit knackered, but it's actually a godsend at the moment because it's somewhere to put stuff where we don't have to be bringing it home all the time. So the sort of bits of garden tools and oddments when we're working on the garden can just stay here, wheelbarrows and tools. And we've had a bit out of storage, which cut our storage costs down. That's being stored here. And so, yep, that's a garage. That's the dog run. So if we go back to where I said roughly the boundary is, we're looking about here. Out to the right hand side of that sort of discoloured patch of grass, I think. And then all the way down, and we're on the edge of the dog kennel, the dog cage. Let's go on down a little bit further. Right, so that's the garage, that's the side of the garage. There was a big lean-to there which Simon has demolished. It was all rotten wood and whatnot, so he's demolished that, which is great. Good news is we've got a really good fence on that side, so we don't need to do anything with that. We have hardcore, which Simon has basically produced with his big muscles by smashing lots of random concrete, this, that and the others. So that is going to come in handy because we're going to have a patio down at the bottom of the garden as well as one up by the house. You can see obviously piles of twigs and branches from where we've had to clear. The bottom of our garden is about here. You couldn't see it for brambles. The brambles were up to about probably 4 feet. There was endless amounts of junk here. There was a fire, like a bonfire left over. There was horrible burnt mattresses and nasty stuff. So we've basically just been clearing all of that, trying to get some idea of what the actual shape of the garden is. That's what's left of stuff that had been burnt by previous people, so we need to just get rid of that at some point. And then all the way down here, you couldn't even get this far. You could probably get to about here, I think, until we started clearing it. You couldn't get any further. You certainly couldn't see that at the bottom of our garden we've got a river. It's absolutely lovely. I don't know whether you can hear it on this or not, but this actually belongs to us. We actually own this half of that little river, as it were. And look at these beautiful trees. We're going to see some fantastic blossom from them. This is just a little bit of paradise, I think, to actually have this as part of your garden. Let's go down to the farthest point, all the way down here. If the camera's wobbling, it's because I'm having to watch where I'm stepping rather than watch what's through the lens. Okay, so here, right in the middle there, you can just about see the water. We've got this nice big tree here, which we've had to cut a load back, but it's meant that you can actually see here. Don't know if you can see it but clearly or not, but there is a kind of a way to scramble down there. So it's almost like we've got our own little bit of sort of riverside seating area. Once we get it more cleared, I'd actually like to get some stone steps put down there so you can get down there. That would be wonderful. Make the most of it. We've got a lot of wild garlic down there as well, which is fantastic. We just love that. Just not just cooking with it, but just putting it in salads and picking the odd leaf and munching it. So we're as far as we can get now, down to the end, and I'm going to turn round and then you can see, there's the house. You can see what a jolly big piece of property this is. So all this needs something doing with it. As you can see here, we have raised beds. Simon's idea. We had one in the old house. It was only a 4-foot one because we had no room. Of course, we got wonderful amounts of room here. So currently we have 2 raised beds. This very day Simon has been planting strawberries here, which he ordered online, got them delivered yesterday. So we have strawberries planted there. Next raised bed is a work in progress. As you can see, it's one way of getting rid of all the surplus branches and twigs and things, is chopping it up, putting it in the bottom of the bed. So that's keeping Simon happy for a while. And you can see there's actually going to be, once this stuff gets moved, it's going to be a lovely big patch. The hardcore there is going to be put as far as I'm aware, all the way down here, because this is where we're going to have a patio down here. Because I was determined, as soon as I saw there was a river, to be able to sit by the river and watch it and listen to it. So that was my idea, to have a big square patio there. So that's where the hardcore is going to go when we dig down for that. Okay, let's go back this way. So all this stuff, which is on the right hand side, that belongs to our neighbour. All that sort of random junk, and the clear side is ours relatively. So we've got a lot of work to do on it, but we're actually enjoying the work. At least we can come over to the house, just the two of us, not in anybody's way, no social distancing issues. Oh, and we have a little neighbour. This is Jet, and Jet lives here and belongs to our neighbour. Hello, sweetie. She's a very sweet girl. She's quite old, I think, but when her owner takes her out, he says she just runs around like a puppy, so she's very sweet. And I just wish I had access to this run so that I could take her out and give her a cuddle. But she's a very sweet girl. As indeed her owner, the chap that lives next door to us that we bought this property from. Very nice guy, lovely, very helpful. Not a well man. But a nice, very nice guy, and we're looking forward to being neighbours with him. So I think that's probably it now. I hope this has given you an idea. I'll do more films as and when we make more progress. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and stay safe.